The days of marketplace farming are over as there is a new king on the block. I'm going to show you two farming strategies. The first is the fastest way to farm, and the second is an easier, more casual approach that is still incredibly fast. For the fastest way, the start is pretty standard. We'll get Benjamin down as fast as possible and save up for a 200 farm. Once down, get a second 200 farm, ideally finishing this on round 13. We'll upgrade the first farm to a 220 and the second to a 202. Then, on round 17, sell the 202 farm and upgrade the other to a 230 banana bank. Now, the round timings might change a little based on how much you have to spend on defenses, but in general, they should be pretty close. Next, we'll get down a 200 and a 100 farm. If you're on an easier map like Resort, you can make both of these 200s, but if not, it is not a big deal. Upgrade the 200 farm to a 202, and at the start of round 27, collect all of the money from your bank and upgrade it to an IMF loan. Once you have popped almost all of the balloons on this round, sell the 202 banana farm and deposit all of your money into the IMF loan. Continue to put as much money as possible into it while still defending the rounds. Do this until the IMF loan's ability is off cooldown, where we can activate it and upgrade our 100 farm into a 140. Now start depositing as much money as possible into this new one, as we'll want it to catch up to how much we have in the first IMF loan. Use the second loan ability when it comes off cooldown and deposit all of your money into both IMF loans, starting with the new one so that you don't fill either up. This will time itself perfectly such that they will both almost be full at the start of round 34. So, sell all of your damage dealers, click collect all on your IMF loans, and place a 004 village in range of both of them. Next, we'll hit play, use an IMF loan ability, upgrade our village to a 005 Monkeyopolis, and place down a 003 engineer to pop the round. Make sure this engineer is in the range of the Monkeyopolis, and upgrade it to a 014 as fast as possible, as we want that balloon trap money. Target the balloon trap as far forward as you can, and start placing down 200 farms inside the Monkeyopolis' range. I had to upgrade the village to a 105 to fit a third farm, but this isn't needed on every map. Once you have a few 200 farms down, upgrade them to 203s and coast to round 40. Now, if we sell everything but Benjamin, we'll be left with about $68,000, and if you're on a map where you can get a favorite trades at the end, you'll be around $77,000. This will be more than enough to insta-kill the tier 1 boss, but rounds 40 to 60 are where the real magic happens in the strategy. Now, round 40 is when the boss comes, and you can defend however you want. I tried to get away with popping it and keeping a BRF and marketplace, but that was probably too greedy. I also did this while only keeping a marketplace, and the results were incredibly similar since we killed the boss in just one round, so don't worry about it as long as you have at least one marketplace down. Anyway, once the boss is popped, we'll make a 1 BRF Monkeyopolis, as they are incredibly efficient. For those of you who don't know what that is, it means we will get a 420 banana farm and sacrifice it to a 005 village. This will make us $3,600 per round and give us a boost to other farm in its range. This bonus extends to the balloon trap engineer, which we are getting again, and we will target the very start of the track if possible. Next, we will get down a 000 and a 023 banana farm, both inside of the Monkeyopolis' range, and this is where the unique strats come into play. We will get a 040 engineer, and once we have $9,000, we will overclock the 000 farm, sell the engineer, sell the marketplace, and upgrade the overclocked farm to a 420 BRF. This will keep the overclock duration for an incredibly long time because it was an unupgraded farm when initially buffed. After that, we'll get a 004 village to buff our Monkeyopolis and BRF, and then place down another farm and a new 040 engineer. Once you have these and $13,000, overclock the farm, sell the engineer, and upgrade the farm to a 420. You're probably seeing the pattern now. We're abusing the extended overclock duration as each BRF makes 80% more money during the buff. We will continue this, overclocking 000 farms, selling the overclock engineer, and upgrading them to 420s until we have 5 banana research facilities. It is here where we are at a crossroads. If you're on a map where the biggest Monkeyopolis possible is 6 or less, you will follow what I do in this video. Otherwise, just continue the pattern until round 60, where you will sell as many BRFs as you need to beat the boss. But if you're on a map like Scrapyard, we'll make the biggest Monkeyopolis possible, buff it with a 004 Monkey City, and use our patented engineer farming strategy to get some more BRFs up and running as fast as possible. Now you can stop farming whenever you like to prepare for the boss, but because I was in an unranked game, I greeded a bit. You'll likely change out a BRF for some marketplaces that you can sell sell to give you a few extra bucks around 60, but once you pop the tier 2 boss and sell all the defenses, you should be left with about 90 to 100k, so place down a few 0-0 farms and get 2 0-4-0 engineers. We will make 2 of these bad boys overclocked 4-2-0s right away, then we'll sell the engineers and prepare to make an overclocked 5-2-0. So get another 0-4-0 engineer and save up $113,000. This should be pretty quick, and at this point you can overclock the base farm, sell the overclock engineer, and upgrade the farm to a 5-2-0 banana central. Next, we'll want to fill out the rest of the map with BRFs, and at the beginning of this process, we will continue selling the engineer in between farms. But once you have about 9 BRFs down, you can start keeping your overclock engineers and just buying new ones as you go. Now, at the start of this process, I like to get a 025 Monkey Wall Street that is buffed by a Monkey City, as it will generate lives and collect some bananas for us, but this isn't necessary. But just keep buying 040 engineers whenever you have a farm ready to upgrade to a 420 BRF. I found that having 3 engineers is a sweet spot, but it may change depending on the map and how big your Monkeyopolis is. Once we have all of these down, you want to get as many 040 engineers as you have farms. This way we can keep them all buffed and they'll make 80% more money per round, which easily pays off the cost of the engineers. This part is definitely not required, but it will make you way more money even in just a few rounds. From here on out, the farming is pretty standard, with the only difference being the overclock if you want to continue that. But this gave me plenty of money to get a degree 40 Apex Plasma Master for the tier 3 boss, even without having to sell anything and on a horrible farming map like Scrapyard. Now, boat farming is still faster, but this is the best strategy for maps with no water. Now, Punchy helped out a ton in making this strat, so if you want some more boss guides, you should definitely check him out. But if you don't want to be exiting to home to get perfect upgrades, or you just want a more relaxed approach, this next strat is for you. It starts exactly the same with Benjamin, a 220 farm, and a 202 farm. Then we'll sell the 202 on round 17 and get a 230 banana bank, but here's where things get easy. All we have to do is get down 2 more 200 farms while the bank fills up. And when the bank is sitting around $8,900, we'll collect it, place down a 002 village next to our new farms, and upgrade both of them to 230 banks, giving us 3 in total. Then we'll sell the village and either get up some marketplaces or a 004 buccaneer, depending on if there is water or not. Then on round 40, you can collect and sell them, which will give us about $60,000 to $65,000 to work with for the tier 1 boss. I recommend this for boss events as it is super easy to pull off and performs about 10% better than the popular marketplace strategy. And after the tier 1 boss, you can pivot into the strat we just covered or into some epic boat farming. Speaking of boat farming, my next video will be about the fastest way to farm with boats, which I will link here once it is out. And if you missed the Battles 2 tournament, here is a recap video for you to watch.